Join us at Women of Courage and celebrate the achievements of women. Before we begin, we're going to take a few moments to collect ourselves and to relax before we engage into our discussion. What we need to do is to focus now on bringing positive energy into our lives and into the world. The energy that we project every day is the same energy that we get back. We have all seen those people that can walk into a room and they glow. People want to be around them. People feel better being in their presence. That's the energy that we need to create. And once we learn how to do this, our lives will be filled with greatness. We will attract that positive energy. And how we can do this is by changing our outlook, meeting every day with gratitude, thankfulness, optimism, and once you do this, you will see a change in yourself. I want you to take a moment and close your eyes. Think about everything positive in your life. Family, friends, a career, your faith. All of this is how you start your day. Every morning when you wake up, I want you to think about what is positive in your life. I want you to list 10 reasons why your life is amazing. You will see the change. You will be changed. You will begin to attract life's blessings. Lead with gratitude. Be thankful and think positive. Good afternoon, and thank you for tuning in. This is Gloria Lee, the moderator for the show Women of Courage. Wherever you are in the world, I need you to know one thing right now. You are amazing. I know you might be upset. I know you might be hurting. And I know you might be frustrated. I know because all of these things happened to me. I was homeless for 2 years, and all I had was a computer, my son, and a car. I want you to know you still have a purpose in life, and it is my job to help you believe that again. Do you want to believe? Can you see that the divorce was not meant to take you out? Can you believe that the lost house and the lost job is a setup for something greater? By the end of this broadcast, you'll be injected with so much that you cannot help but believe again. And I am going to help you do just that. Are you ready? I got some things I want to share with you. And I will even make suggestions on books and activities that you can implement, which will ultimately bring healing and wholeness to you. If you are ready to be healed, if you're ready to be whole, just jot down the pointers I give and watch your life transform. No matter what happened, no matter whose fault it was, today is a new day, and your time to live and be free is now. Join me in this journey to wholeness. Your time for total healing is now. Today you shall recover. Wholeness, healness, and peacefulness is in the mind. That is where all battles for life end and begin. The Women of Courage show is being broadcast by the Women and Children's Restoration Ministries to help you problem solve, to help you dream again, to help you believe that anything is possible. We want you to believe that you do not have to marry the first man you meet just to get someone to take care of you. You do not have to live a life of drudgery. You can educate yourself. All you have to do is learn to read competently. We want you to take a chance on yourself. Stop believing all the soothsayers around you that have never left a state in their lives. People who do not have courage to fly. People who only think of lying, cheating, and stealing. You can live an exciting life. All you have to do is believe that you can make your dreams come true. You do not have to go to bed with someone you despise day in and day out. You have the right to marry someone that you can talk to someone that believes in you and has faith in you as a human being. In other words, you do not have to settle for just anyone. But what you must do is strive toward your goal. You must be goal oriented. You must organize yourself. You must be clear about what you want in life and why you want such a life. All of us are made up of dreams. As our dreams unfold in our lives, our spirit soars. Realizing our dreams becomes a problem because oftentimes we are beaten down by our friends and family. We are beaten down at school by people laughing at us because of our shoe size, our ear size, our breast size, the clothes we wear, etc. We are beaten down by people saying nothing will come of our lives. We are beaten down when our mothers and grandmothers constantly say that we're going to be just like our father, an inmate in prison. Many of us are also discouraged when our mothers are inattentive. She is wrapped up in her new boyfriend. But life anew is possible. It is my job to encourage you to go as far as you can dream and as far as your dreams can take you. It is my job to get you to believe in life again. I am sick and tired of people failing at life just because they are around negative speaking and negative acting people. Do not let the failure of other people make you lose confidence in yourself. Yes, you may be surrounded by poverty, but you must look for a way out. The book, If You Believe in God, You Do Not Belong in Prison, will help you. What you must do above all else is learn to read competently. You must read, and read. Anyone who laughs at you for reading, you need to leave that person alone. I do not care if it's your mother. Anyone who discourages you, you are to stop all association. Man is not different than plants. We need encouragement to grow as plants need water to thrive. You are to leave foolish, stupid people alone. Their ignorance will weigh you down or even get you killed. Sit down and think how you can avoid these people, especially if they're in your family. If you are overwhelmed with the tiring feeling that feels as if you're carrying a bag of stone around every morning when you get out of bed and think how you'll have to spend another living life you're not passionate about, the books I suggest are the perfect solution for your unique needs. Not only will we help you realize why these feelings overwhelm you and what you can do to change it, but they will also teach you how to live a life of strength, courage, fearlessness in order to realize all of your dreams. If you are lacking the attitude and psychology, proper resource or vision to make your dreams a reality, combined with dissatisfaction with the execution of your plans, but you remain firmly dedicated to making your ambition a reality and creating the life you deserve, you will certainly derive the most benefit from professional, incredible content within these books. Contents that will assist you in achieving the results that you are after. You are never to give up on yourself. Are you ready to leave your future to chance? Of course not. Take your life in your hand and learn all the necessary tools mindset, strategies used by the men and women of courage, used in order to live the life of their dream. Change your life with our book starting today.
This right here, this is the moment right before the day starts when you get to look in the mirror and tell yourself who you are. Now, you've been through some dark days, I believe that. But all that pain and struggle, that made the person you're looking at now. So when you walk out of these doors today, I need you to believe in yourself. I need you to believe you are the strongest person walking this planet. They don't know what you've been through. They don't know the grind it took for you to be here. So when you leave here today, I need you to show them. I think one thing we can all agree on is how important it is to find time in your life to grow with your personal development, your hobbies, with your profession, to step outside of your routine to explore. We cannot grow. We cannot expect change unless we are willing to try something new. And that's what I want you to focus on right now. Are you willing to step outside of your comfort zone? Are you willing to try something new regardless of the outcome? Because even when you try and you might not succeed, you still grow from the experience. That's what life is about. Being comfortable even when you're not comfortable. And I promise you, once you start to take those chances, you will begin to attract new opportunities into your life. But trust me, this step is never easy. But what you need to focus on is the end result. Are you content with staying the same, or are you looking for growth? Are you looking for change? Are you looking for opportunity? If you are, this is how you do it. You need to grow.
Here are some reasons why you need to go register and vote. If you have something to say, then you should vote. If you are sick and tired of the lies, then you should vote. If you want a government for the people, then you should vote. If you want a responsible government, then you should vote. If you want to protect your Social Security, you need to vote. If you want the post office saved, you need to vote. If you want to protest the environment, you need to vote. If you want to protect our rivers, lakes, and streams, you need to vote. If you are tired of the pollution created by carbon emissions, you need to vote. If you want good medical care for all, you need to vote. If you want to protect your family, you need to vote. In the November election, the fate of our country will be in your hands. Therefore, you need to vote. We shall continue our discussion of the battle for survival in the mind. Last time I read you excerpts from the book, If You Believe in God, You Don't Belong in Prison. The reason why I read from the book is because I was trying to demonstrate that becoming a crook or participating in an act of violence against another person is a voluntary act. One chooses to hit an old woman over the head and steal her purse. One chooses to break into a home to steal someone else's belongings. One chooses not to go back to school or to try and to learn read better. One chooses his friends, and when those friends demonstrate that they are no good, you choose to remain friends with them. Life is all about choices that we make. My purpose today is to persuade men not to choose violence as a way out of poverty. My purpose today is to give you some pointers on how to manage your mind so you do not end up in prison. Yes, that is correct. I said you must learn to manage your mind. That is the problem that we're going to be examining today is how does one manage his or her mind? Yes, that's right. We all have to learn how to manage ourselves. We have to learn how to manage ourselves at work, at home, and at play, and it all involves how we think. So if we're going to have a better life, then we have to learn how to manage that life, and managing something means changing. Change is not easy. It is difficult and sometimes downright horrible. But change is what is necessary, especially if you are thinking about using a gun to commit a crime. Nothing good comes into life without change. You may change your attitude about certain foods, and by doing that, you will meet a new friend. You may change your attitude about a certain employer and land a better job. Change is possible every waking moment of the day, but it is up to you to seize this change. Now, here are some headlines that were recently in the newspaper of people who did not want to seek change in their life. Even though these people did not seek change in their lives, what actually happened is that's exactly what they got. They got a change, but it wasn't a change they wanted. The change that they got was that they ended up in prison. These people failed to manage their minds, and their deeds led them to prison. Now, I want you to listen to these cases closely. Some of these crimes were committed by multiple people. Some cases were committed by a single assailant. But the main point is these people committed crimes when it was not necessary. It is not like these crimes were committed during the Great Depression and they were Bonnie and Clyde. Okay, here are the cases and here are the headlines. Parents of boy hidden behind wall in court. Article December 18, 2014. Samantha Joy Davis and Gregory Jean of Georgia were charged with kidnapping Gregory Jean Jr. in 2009 from his mother that lived in Florida when the child was 8 years old. The article went on to say that the police officers recovered Gregory Jean Jr. from behind a false wall in the home. The couple was also charged with child abuse. Gregory Jean Jr. was discovered after mustering the courage to contact his mother and siblings through the Magic Jack app on a cell phone that his father gave him. The boy's mothers called the Clayton County Police and let them know about the hidden compartment inside a linen closet. The Clayton County police officer Daniel Day told the court about the moment he and other investigators found the hidden room and saw the boy inside. The officer said he was extremely scared and fearful. It took him a while to figure out what was happening. The child was screaming. He was trembling wide eyed. The boy's father, girlfriend Samantha Davis, already had a criminal record. In 2006, she was sentenced to 10 years probation and anger management classes after being found guilty of abusing one of her own children. Prosecutors said she tried to teach her son a lesson about talking back by heating a pair of scissors on the stove and burning the child with them and then cutting off a piece of his tongue. The second article. Son shields mother from gunfire. Eyes saving his mother in South Chicago. James Jones and his mother Alicia Jones were on the front porch Saturday afternoon in South Chicago when a man walked out of a gangway and fired in their direction. That is when the 21-year-old made the ultimate sacrifice to protect his mother, throwing himself in front of her, saving her life by shielding her from the array of bullets headed in her direction. By saving her life, he lost his own. Alicia Jones, age 46, was critically wounded but survived. A son gunned down, saving his mother's life with his quick thinking, bleeding to death as he called 911 for help, his last words identifying his father as the shooter. Next headline, Girl 8, who witnessed her mother being gunned down on Christmas Day 5 years ago, will be the star witness at the Los Angeles murder trial July 21, 2015. Nurse Kashmir James, age 25, was shot 9 times in front of her daughter when she stepped out of her car in Los Angeles, California. Her killers shot the wrong person. Daniel Houston, now 34, and Lamar McKnight, 24, and Ezekiel Samuel, age 16, and Derek Williams, age 15, were charged in 2011 with murder and attempted murder. The men were on trial in July. They were convicted in August of first-degree murder and attempted murder and sentenced in October. The Los Angeles County District Attorney's Office said that Darnell Houston, age 38, was the shooter, and Lamar McKnight, age 28, was the getaway driver. Both were sentenced to life in state prison without the possibility of parole. Derek Williams, age 20, was given 40 years to life, and Ezekiel Simmons pleaded no contest to attempted murder, and he was sentenced in August to 29 years behind bars. Next headline, Man surrenders after being charged in killing Cleveland mother of 2 during a carjacking at a church November the 27th, 2018. Miss Leslie DeJesus, a mother of 2, age 33, was killed in a carjacking in a church parking lot November the 15th, 2018. She and her family were at the Archwood United Church of Christ, setting up for their daughter's ceremonial 15th birthday party at the church. Their daughter and a 10-year-old son were also at the church at the time of the murder. Michael Preston and another man hot-wired DeJesus' car. Miss DeJesus and her husband ran outside of the church and fought with the carjackers. Both grabbed onto the car as the carjackers tried to speed away. The car rolled over Miss DeJesus twice, and her husband was hurt after being drugged. Miss DeJesus was pronounced dead at the scene. The carjackers left the car a few blocks away. Michael Preston, age 23, turned himself in that Tuesday to the county jail. He is being charged with aggravated murder. He was tried January 6, 2020, and he was convicted January 16, 2020. Michael Preston was found guilty of reckless homicide, felonious assault, 2 counts of aggravated robbery, in addition to murder. February 10th, 2020, Mr. Preston was sentenced to life in prison with parole possible after serving 23 years. This sentence means Mr. Preston can die in prison if the parole board does not like him. He asked for this because he was twice involved and convicted for stealing vehicles. Why didn't he go get a job at McDonald's and buy himself a car? Next headline reads, 5 indicted for October murder of a Macon 16-year-old. January 23, 2019. A Bibb County grand jury indicted 5 black males on murder charges Tuesday in the October 2018 fatal shooting of a 16-year-old Kendrick Darnell Davis. The males indicted were Carvisius ATES age 20, Eric Bolden age 17, Demarcus Hammonds age 19, Jamon Deshaun Jackson age 18, and Troy Jackson age 16. Each male is charged with 1 count of felony murder. According to the indictment, the 5 males were in custody in less than a month after the shooting. It is now May 2020 and the men are still in custody awaiting trial. Next case. Man sentenced to prison for shooting woman dead on a Yorktown Street July 15, 2019. Judge Maureen Sweeney sentenced Dale Williams, age 23, to 23 years to life for shooting his ex-girlfriend Elizabeth Pager Stewart to death while she was on her way to work. He forced her car off the road and emptied his gun into her body. He said he was angry. The stupid headline. Indiana postal worker shot dead after refusing to deliver mail to man with aggressive dog. April 30th, 2020. Tony Cushenberry Mays, age 21, was charged with second-degree murder, assaulting a federal employee, and discharging a firearm during a crime. Tony Mays shot a postal employee, Angela Summers, age 25, because she would not deliver his mail unless he put his dog up. He refused, so he shot her. He faces the death penalty at age 21. He was waiting on his stimulus check. The mail was stopped at his residence because he would not put his dog away, and he was advised to pick his mail up at the post office. Next headline. Sumter double murder suspect used large folding knife to kill mother, missing daughter. September 12, 2019. On August 5th, 2019, police discovered Sherry Bradley, age 29, dead, and her 5-year-old daughter, Nevia Adams, missing. Her son called the police when he arrived home and found his mother's body. The cause of Bradley's death was blunt and sharp force trauma injuries to the head and neck. The warrant said a knife was also used to kill Miss Bradley. Dante Johnson, age 28, is charged with 2 counts of murder, possession of a stolen vehicle, and possession of a weapon during a violent crime. He was seen fleeing the apartment. He confessed to killing Miss Bradley and her daughter. Johnson is also accused of stealing a 2007 Toyota Camry belonging to a Miss Stanley. Investigators allege that the vehicle was stolen after Johnson shot and killed Miss Stanley in St. Louis, Missouri on June 23, 2019. Here's another headline. Man refuses to get lawyer. Sentenced to life in 10 minutes. October 31st, 2019. Patrick Lambert of Houston, Texas, was sentenced to life in prison for killing his wife and stuffing her in a refrigerator. The jury recommended the sentence. Mr. Lambert refused to be represented by an attorney. He represented himself, which is probably why it only took the judge 10 minutes to sentence him. Mr. Lambert was convicted of stabbing his wife, Anastasia Lambert, age 27, in September 2014 and stuffing her in a refrigerator. Her body was found December 8, 2014. He stabbed her 19 times before stashing her body and then taking a bus to Mexico with their infant son. Mr. Lambert's son, who is now almost 6 years old, is living with his paternal grandparents. The child was 11 months old when his mother was killed. I am going to pause for a second to take a short break while you listen to information regarding willpower and encouragement. It is all a matter of learning new behaviors. And please remember, it is easier to build strong minds than to repair injured people. What I said is a modification of a quote by Frederick Douglass. He said, "It is easier to build strong children than to repair broken men." Now for my break.
What we need to focus on now is bringing positive energy into the world. The energy that we project every day is the same energy that we get back. We've all seen those people that can walk into a room and they glow. People want to be around them. People feel better being in their presence. That's the energy that we need to create. And once we learn how to do this, our life will be filled with greatness. We will attract that positive energy. And how we do this is by changing our outlook, leading every day with gratitude, thankfulness, optimism. And once you do this, you will see the change. I want you to take a moment and close your eyes. Think about everything positive in your life. Family, friends, a career, your faith. All of this is how you start your day. Every morning you wake up, I want you to think about what is positive in your life. I want you to list 10 reasons of why your life is amazing. And once you do this, you will see the change. You will be the change. You will begin to attract life's blessings. Lead with gratitude. Be thankful. And think positive.
Reading is one of the most important activities that a person can participate in. A world of information is available to you. This information can help you shape and change not only your life, but the lives of your children and spouse. Visit the website touchedbythelight.us and find yourself a book to read. For more information, you can email us at murderedvoices@gmail.com.
You're watching Detroit's own WHPR TV. Detroit Live.
Hi, this is Renee stepping out on faith. You can watch me 24 hours a day, 7 days a week on the WHPR TV Now app. Download our free app at WHPR TV Now.
Weekdays at 2 p.m. Eastern.
I think one thing we can all agree on is how important it is to find time in your life to grow with your personal development, your hobbies, with your profession, to step outside of your routine to explore. We cannot grow We cannot expect change unless we are willing to try something new. And that's what I want you to focus on right now. Are you willing to step outside of your comfort zone? Are you willing to try something new regardless of the outcome? Because even when you try, and you might not succeed, you still grow from the experience. That's what life is about. Being comfortable even when you're not comfortable. And I promise you, once you start to take those chances, you will begin to attract new opportunities into your life. But trust me, this step is never easy. But what you need to focus on is the end result. Are you content with staying the same, or are you looking for growth? Are you looking for change? Are you looking for opportunity? If you are, this is how you do it. You need to grow. Having a goal or a plan to accomplish something isn't enough. You need to dig deeper than that. You need to tap into your subconscious to begin to reprogram your mind. And you do this through positive affirmations. Short statements that you repeat every day, regardless of your goal, how big or little. Whether your goal is to make more money, be a better boyfriend or girlfriend, or find a better job, whatever your goal is, you need to come up with short, positive statements about that goal and repeat it each morning. Start by doing this for 5 minutes. And once you begin to do this, you will start to see how the subconscious and conscious mind can work together. You have the potential to do amazing things. And through positive affirmations, you start to build that confidence. Think of all the goals that you've made in the past. Think about the mindset you were in at that moment. It was one of confidence and control. I will be successful in my job. I will make my next promotion. I will meet the love of my life. These are words of affirmation. Now tell me, what are your words?
Okay, we now return to our cases. As you listen, think about the crimes that these people committed. Okay, here's the headline. Neptune Beach resident shoots one of 3 intruders during break-in. April 15, 2020. A Tuesday evening armed robbery in a Neptune Beach apartment is caught on a security video. One suspect is shot and hospitalized, and 2 other suspects are being sought, although the police say they found 2 cars used in the case. 3 armed robbers got the shock of their lives when they broke into a Florida apartment and were shot at by the person inside. The robbery was caught on camera. The video shows the 3 men walking up to a second-story Neptune Beach residence on Tuesday evening as one of them used his body to push in the door. Seconds later, about 5 gunshots ring out and 3 men scurry out the apartment, with one even leaping over the balcony to the ground. Police say one of the home invaders was shot in the chest and was being treated at a hospital. The other 2 were still being sought Wednesday. Second later, when the 3 shots ring out, a resident inside shot one of them, the police said. The trio ran out the door, leaping from the second story, trying to escape the gunfire. These 3 more shots rang out, and they escaped in a 4-door Kia sedan. The 2 at-large assailants were described as black men, possibly in their 20s. One had a low-cut hair and was wearing a black hoodie with white writing on the front, khaki pants, and black shoes. The other wore a black ball cap, black hoodie, black pants, and black shoes. Note, all of this information came from the homeowner and the video camera. In only a few days, Leonard Lamore, age 23, and 23-year-old Josiah Padlock were in custody. The police had them on camera when they found the car. What happened was Mr. Lamar was dropped off at the Baptist Medical Center with men driving a Pontiac 4-door sedan. He was the one that was originally shot. The police are still looking for the 2 other men who were driving the Kia and the Pontiac. The next headline reads, Video allegedly shows deadly Chicago area home invasion by a Chattanooga man, April 16, 2020. Bradley Finnan, age 39, of Chattanooga, was accused by police of breaking into a suburban Chicago home with his accomplice Larry Brodak, age 58, from Buffalo Grove, Illinois. The homeowner shot and killed Mr. Brodak. Mr. Brodak attacked the homeowner with a knife. Both men came into the home armed with guns. After Mr. Finnan's capture, he told investigators that Mr. Brodak claimed that there was $200,000 in cash in a box in the home that he saw 20 years ago, and he believed the money was still there, the prosecutor said. Mr. Finnan told investigators that he knew Mr. Brodak from a car dealership where they both worked. Bradley Finnan, age 39, was caught on the video invading a home. He was charged with home invasion, murder, and armed robbery, attempted armed robbery. After fighting off Mr. Finnan, the homeowner retrieved his own gun and fatally shot Mr. Brodak in the abdomen. Mr. Finnan is being held under an Illinois statute that allows murder charges against a suspect if they take part in a felony offense that leads to another person's death, which was his conspirator. Now Mr. Brodak is dead, and Mr. Finnan will have to stand charges for his death. The homeowner was not charged. Okay, so far we have examined 11 cases where people gambled that they would succeed in their crime, yet they failed and were caught, prosecuted, and sentenced to prison. Considering the outcome, was it worth the gamble? Crimes range from a man kidnapping his son, hiding his son behind a wall, a son dying shielding his mother from his father, a gang member killing a nurse, she was the wrong victim, 2 carjackers kill a woman while they were trying to steal her car. These men left devastation in their wake. A woman, 2 children now will have to live without their mother. 5 gang members were arrested for murder. A man killed his ex-girlfriend. A postal worker was killed. A man killed a woman and her child. They think this man also killed another woman in another state and stole her car. A man kills his wife. 3 men break into an occupied apartment. One of the robbers are shot. 2 men break inside of a home looking for money. One of the robbers is killed. All of these people committed extremely violent acts. Most of the people involved were adults. They had time to consider their choices, yet they went ahead and committed these violent acts. Did they really weigh the consequences, or didn't they care? It was not like they did not have alternative behaviors. They had choices. Violence was not the only solution to their problem. The father could have shared custody with for his son. The robbers could have found jobs. The husband did not have to kill his wife. These alternative behaviors can go on and on. These people had choices. But the most outstanding fact is none of these people considered the consequences if their violent act failed. Moreover, did they truly use a systematic approach to success or failure? How much thought did they use in weighing the variables involved in their success or failure? Did they know to include in their thinking the principles that govern the intervening variable and the unintended consequences? These are 2 principles we will now discuss to help you develop your problem-solving skills. Whatever you do in life, I want you to remember these 2 concepts: the intervening variable and the unintended consequence. Seriously, these are 2 important concepts that you must continue to consider throughout your life, and you must teach these concepts to your children. Now to the intervening variable. The word intervening can be used as a verb, an adjective, or a noun, depending on the sentence. In this case, we are concerned with the meaning intervening variable as a verb. In this case, we look at the word intervene, which means to come between, to occur or happen to between other events or periods. To intervene with force or a threat of force. To intervene with the affair of another country. Now, if we tie the word intervene with the word variable, this phrase comes to mean there is a variable that is intervening in an action. So you can visualize this. Think of 2 children fighting. An adult walks up and separates the 2 children. Well, the intervening variable is the adult. If the intervening variable was not there, then the 2 children would have kept on fighting. So the adult stopped the action between the 2 children. That's what we mean. This variable changes the situation from one situation to another, which means that when you are participating in a violent act, something may occur to stop your violent act. Think about this. When the 2 robbers broke into the home, the homeowner got his gun and he was able to shoot one robber and the other robber ran away. The original event was for the 2 men to break into the home and steal the money. The intervening variable is that the homeowner fought back and got his gun and killed one of the robbers. When planning, the intervening variable is a very important consideration. When men go to war, this is one of the things that generals always think about, is that intervening variable, that variable that is not expected. Now listen carefully. One definition of an intervening variable is a hypothetical variable used to explain causal links between variables. Intervening variables cannot be observed in an experiment. That's why they're called hypothetical. But hypothetical variables actually help you when you're planning. Now, for example, there's an association between being poor and having a shorter lifespan. One's lifespan could be longer if the person was not poor and had better access to medical care and ate better and lived in a better neighborhood. Remember, we are talking about something that may vary or change, a variable feature or factor. Now, these variables intervene in a particular system. In warfare, planning generals always consider what possibly could happen on the battlefield to change the outcome of a war. Poor ammunition, guns that do not fire properly, poor clothing, poorly made shoes, poor food or no food at all, engines breaking down or ships breaking down. Now, these are all variables that could end a war unfavorably. Also, all variables that a general may feel that he has some control over. A general can institute a quality control over goods and services. He may insist on certain manufacturers because these manufacturers produce quality goods over and over again. Now, on the enemy's side, the general has to also consider an intervening variable. What can the enemy do to stop my plans? One of the greatest military triumphs is when Hannibal came across the Alps that no one expected. The use of the elephant to cross the Alps was never even considered. The Americans did not expect the Japanese pilots to ram their planes into their ships. The Americans had never anticipated kamikaze pilots. It took them a while to try to just come up with an idea how to fend against them. Now consider this. You are going to open up a business. What variables can affect the success of your business? Then after you list the variables, sit down and ask yourself, how can I influence these variables? Now consider yourself a social scientist. You believe being poor shortens a person's lifespan. What are the variables causing the person to be poor? What can you do to influence or control these variables, such as education, housing, jobs, medical care? All of these factors come into play when there is city planning or social laws being enacted. So now you know, anytime you entertain an endeavor, you need to sit down and list the variables that can affect what you are trying to do. Then you need to run several scenarios to affect those variables where it will benefit you. Exercise will tell you that if you want to be successful, you must plan, and you must plan for what could happen and plan how to influence these variables in case they do happen, so it will end up in your favor. Now, there is a related term that must be considered when you are attempting anything. This concept is called the unintended consequence. We will discuss this soon after our break. After discussing the unintended consequence, I'm going to try to tie all this together with respect to criminal behavior. I am going to pause for a second to take a short break while you listen to information regarding willpower and encouragement. It is all a matter of learning new behaviors. And please remember, it is easier to build strong minds than to repair injured people. What I said is a modification of a quote by Frederick Douglass. He said, it is easier to build strong children than to repair broken men. Now, dear listeners, help us save a life. Stop breast cancer from taking lives. Will you assist us in putting the booklet Black Women and Breast Cancer in the hands of a million people? Please go to the website www.touchedbythelight.us and download the booklet Black Women and Breast Cancer. Then email this booklet to 5 friends, asking them to email the booklet to 5 of their friends. We are trying to reach 1 million women with this information to save lives. The death of one woman to breast cancer from our community is one woman too many. We thank you for your support. Please tell your friends and family about our broadcast and invite them to listen to us every Friday from 3 to 4 p.m. and every Sunday from 8 to 9 a.m. on 88.1 FM WHPR. You can email us at murderedvoices@gmail.com to learn more about our programs and how you can become involved. You can find inspirational articles by the Women of Courage Show by visiting the website touchedbythelight.us. You can read some of our essays on your lunch hour. These articles will help you last throughout the day. They will inspire you not to quit. Remember, if you miss one of our shows, you can visit our YouTube channel at Touched by the Light Publishing to watch and listen to previous episodes of Women of Courage. Thank you. After our broadcast, you should go to YouTube and watch our video for a second and third time. This will reinforce the information that we are discussing. When you watch our videos on YouTube, it would be helpful to us if you would subscribe to the channel Touched by the Light Publishing. This way, you will be reminded when we publish another video. And if our videos are helpful to you, tell a friend or a coworker. Thank you so much. Thank you for listening to Women of Courage, and have a great day.